Hey YouTube, this is my indoor garden update for March 2023. And on the table under the two grow lights, I have marigold currently growing. On the marigold, I've had 3 germinations. I have one right there, and I have two. And I have 5 different varieties of marigolds that I'm trying to germinate. And over here, I have white sorrel. And I was gifted these white sorrel by Miss Fifi. In the back, I have sweet banana peppers, green giants, some herbs, and cayenne pepper. So once they've gotten a certain height, I take the plastic off. As you can see, I've already taken the plastic off these two, so they're about to go down to the because they're getting their first true leaves. So once they get their first true leaves, they go down to the ground level. And in the front, I got some dwarf figs. Same thing in the back. I got okra going. I have pigeon peas, which is weird because both of these pigeon peas were started at the same time. One is small and one is tall. Then I have red sorrel. So the comparison, and I just want to show you, with a red sorrel versus the white sorrel, big height difference, big height difference. And right here, growing in the forest, is my hibiscus plant or hibiscus flower. And then we have the fig forest. These were fig cuttings that was gifted to me by someone. Somebody called Nobody, and I'm sure when they hear themselves call Nobody, they'll laugh. A funny story about these figs right here, and these are Olympia figs. This one right here, I literally planted upside down, and I had to take it out and replant it. Same thing with this one. I had it upside down, and I had to replant it, and so you see the growth I'm starting to get. But the funny thing is, look at the roof. Look at the root growth. That is crazy. But simply because I wasn't paying attention. Look at these. Look at all this root growth. They are so ready to get outside in the yard with the sun, but I can't because it's cold. It's freezing outside. These are some more figs. And then over here, my experiment, because I'm not in a tropical climate, but I'm trying it anyway, is my papaya. I have 2 papaya plants that's growing. And then here, I have sweet potatoes. I have the batata, which is South America, Central American, Caribbean sweet potato. And right here, I have the Japanese or the Korean sweet potato. And I guess the best way you can tell them different is the batata is big and large and round, and the flesh is white. And then the Japanese or the Korean, it's oblong. It always has a long shape. These right here, I was gifted. These are comfrey seeds. I have not seen a comfrey yet, so these have been put to germinate. They've been germinating now since December, and we're in March. I haven't given up yet, but I'm about to. All right, let me take you back over here. These right here that are trying to germinate, if it's not too dark, is sugar apples, and I'm also haven't had any success on those. And those also been germinating since December, and I'm just gonna let it run its course. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I do know that the sugar apple has a hard seed, and it may take a while. All right, so here go my snafu now. So I was gifted this from Miss Georgia Peach Hut, Miss Gail, sent me cuttings of John and Adam's fig. Well, I put them in soil, thought I had them done right, and it didn't work out. And so I've gone back to this method that I saw her just do a video. Well, so far this one is working because I am seeing green growth starting to come. So I'm liking that. I'm really liking that. All right. So I keep it on top of my modified greenhouse, which is an old tote that I had out in the garage. So inside of this tote, I have hostas growing. I pollinated my hosta plant that I had, my plaster flower that I had outside in the yard, and it gave me some seeds, and I planted the seeds, and here we got some hostas coming up. But these are two of the cuttings I got from Miss Gail, Miss Georgia Peach Hut, and this one is the Adams, and the one in the back is the Johns, and they're both greening and rooting. So I did well with those. But this is something I'm growing for the first time this year. This is chayote squash. In Jamaica we call it chocho. And you can see the roots and the green. This is another chayote, and it has long roots, but it's hidden because I buried it in the ground, or in the soil, excuse me. And then here's the green growth. So this little modified humidifier or greenhouse does a really good job. It has been germinating for me very, very well. So I stand on it. And Miss Gail, this technique with the Ziploc bags with spraying the water in it, it works. Because I'm living proof that your technique is working. Now, I'm sure you guys heard some humming going on behind me, and I'm going to show you, this is my indoor experiment that I have going on. So what I wanted to do was do a different way to cultivate my food in the event that I had to do everything inside. Let's say for something like Ohio happened and you couldn't grow outside. I wanted to see if I could do food inside. So what this is my organic aquaponic setup, and I'm gonna break down the setup again because someone asked me in the comments, because I said it on the live and they didn't catch what I said. So what I did, I started the seeds in paper towels and Ziploc bags a week before I got this part. So what I did, I started the seeds. Once they germinated, which was about 3 days, then I put them in soil. They stayed in soil for about a week until I could get roots. Once I got roots, they went into the net cup with the lava rocks, and then they went into the solution. So the bottom line is you gotta grow it so you have roots for the roots to touch the solution. So you can't start it in the actual aquaponic. You got to start it in something. If you have the rock, that little, I can't think of what they call it, but you can start it in that. But I just chose to start it in paper towels, get roots in soil, then transfer it into here. This is my experiment, so I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it. But in these containers, and these are 3-inch holes with net cups, and like I said again, lava rocks. I have blue kale, red Russian kale. In the back, that's a little gem, and what a little gem is, it's a small version to the romaine lettuce. And then these are mustard greens. And then over here I have 2 varieties of bell peppers. This is red bell pepper, and that's a yellow bell pepper. That's a salad bowl lettuce, and this one is a black seed Simpson. Now at some point I'm going to rotate them, which should probably be in about 2 days, because what I'm noticing on this half of the bucket, the growth is exponential, and I think it's because it's a combination of the light coming from the sun, also with the grow light. So just to rotate them, and how I got this set up again, like I said, I have fish tank hoses going to a pump to pump the air inside of the solution. But you don't have to do a pump, but I chose to do a pump, and I wanted to do the max to get the max result. So yeah, so this is my hydroponic setup, and I did it in 5-gallon buckets. I didn't go out and buy any expensive hydroponic setup. I didn't do it because I went out and I wanted to understand about the solutions, and the guys at the hydroponic couldn't tell me because the solutions are proprietary, so you actually don't know what's in the solution, or they couldn't tell me. So in my solution that I created, it's wood chips, grass clippings, compost, and Epsom salt, and that's all I got in here. And the water is rainwater, so I think the rainwater also makes a big difference. So this is my setup for the hydroponics. So the next thing I want to show you. So for all those remember my my sweet potatoes, my Beauregard sweet potatoes, and these are the American sweet potatoes. I cut all of the vines off. I mean, all the way down to nothing. And I basically use them in soups and stew. So I'm letting it get regrowth. New growth is coming in. You see where the vine was cut right here, and these are all new growths coming in. So that's what's going on with that. And then over here, I have my Edo plant that I grew from a Edo cutting. And then down here is where I have the Beauregards that I grew last year. And once I removed them from the ground, I never washed them. I just put them in a hot room, let them sit for a week. Then I put them into a cool room, let them sit for a week, so they could cure. And now I have them in a warm room in my house. But this is relatively warm. It stays at a pretty constant temperature. But what I've noticed, and you can probably notice in the video, they are putting out vines. They are putting out vines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all these vines off, stick them in water, and give them sunlight. Because if you notice, you don't see any green growth because there's no lighting here. It's all in the darkness. So we're going to stick them in some water. And on this one, these were volunteers. And that was grown in a container over here. And these were volunteers in the ground. My wife likes these because she likes to put them when she bakes chicken or puts them in soups. So they're very tasty, very sweet. And show you the next thing. So this is the hottest room in my house, and so this is where I got my my peppers. I have 10 bell peppers growing with 3 different varieties. I have red, yellow, and orange bell peppers growing. And of course, I got some cayenne and some emerald giants sitting in here to germinate. They haven't come up yet. So I have this thing on an old crutch that I had in my garage, and I just have the light clipped to it, and it's doing its thing. And last but not least is my peace lily, and my wife and I was gifted this peace lily back in April of last year. It's doing very well. It's shiny, it's healthy. The only thing that I've noticed is the tips are yellowing and getting dried off. And I've given it some fertilizer, but at the same token that that's happening, I'm getting new growth. This is new growth. I got new leaves. So as the old leaves are dying, new leaves are coming. Here's some more new growth. And I do get flowers, and if you look down in there, I have actually cut some of the flowers off, some of the to take, just so it wouldn't use up a lot of the energy for flowers. I just want the growth because it's a air purifier. That's what I use it for. So April coming up will be a year old, and the bodyguard that watches over it is my guy right here. Cool runnings, man. He's making sure everything is going good. I basically do not put it in direct sunlight. I keep it by this window right here. It gets limited sunlight, and I rotate it so one end gets light, and every 3 days I move it around. So it's constantly be turning a circle. So every inch of it gets light. So even though this part is getting the light now and it's not over here on this side, that's in about 3 days, this side will be over here. So it's constantly being rotated. Again, this is what I got going on indoors. Just wanted to give a quick update for March. A lot of subscribers in the comments were asking me what I got going on indoors. So this is my update. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.